All your favorite wrestling shows rolled into one. Welcome to the We Book It podcast. Let's start the show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of the Sunday Night Stunner, presented to you by none other than the We Book It podcast. It is Sunday night. It is your Sunday Night Stunner, and I got the best damn We Book It crew here with me to talk all things wrestling. Guys, I got my girl, the queen bee, the cuisine of the We Book It podcast. Her name is Miss AC Slayer. She is the queen of aloe also.
Virgil's making fun of me for my sunburn, but happy Sunday. Welcome to the pod, and let's fight those Sunday scaries by talking about wrestling.
Absolutely, absolutely. And of course, down below, guys, we have the workhorse of the We Book It podcast. He's the host of the AEW All Elite Recap. He is that man, which, by the way, he will name a new champion tonight for the We Book It title. That is first business of order as soon as we get these introductions out the way. Anyways, his name is Coachman.
Yes,
Coach?
I have cracked the case in my investigation. I will be.
There is no investigation. You had to choose
there
somebody.
Was an investigation. No, there was
recount.
An investigation.
Recount.
There was an investigation, and I will get to that. But like you said, let's get the introductions done.
And then, of course, we got my main man, my brother from another mother. We got Mac Man in the building. What's going on, Mac?
Yes, sir. Happy to think this is show number 3. Ready to get it going.
Excited to have you back again, man. Like I said, you are fitting into the team like a glove, sir. So we appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
Oh, also, Mac wants in on these on this We Book It championship. So, like I said, next
he was supposed to put me on the last.
Absolutely,
dude. Wait a minute, hold on. You asked halfway through, so Coachman threw the gauntlet out there. As much crap as we've given him since he's been champ, because he's held the title now for 5 months altogether. A long reign for him, the longest reign probably of anybody. He probably holds the record. I have to go back into the history books to look at it, but I think he holds the record for the longest reign as champ. Anyways, he put his title on the line through 2 weekends of pay-per-views, not 2 pay-per-views, 2 weekends of pay-per-views. So basically, you have right smack dab in the middle of that, and we were already halfway through. So I'm like, okay, well, I got to catch you on the next go around. So
I got you. I didn't know how it worked. I see. Okay.
No, wait, but that's the thing. Normally, it don't work like that. Normally, it's just one PLE. We choose one. Like he got tired of us calling him a paper champion or whatnot. So he was like, you know what? I'm gonna throw the gauntlet out there, and I'm gonna see who actually wants this championship. Now, because of that, we now need to find out who is the new We Book It champion. And Coachman, I told you, I hated to have to do this to you, but I was going to have to threaten you. If you did not pick a We Book It champion, you was going to be in violation of the Stone Cold law. And you was going to be
I agree. No, I agree with you.
We need a champion.
All right. So here's what happened. So after the conclusion of all the PLEs with Clash in Italy, we did have a new champion, and that is Tank. He beat me by 1. He beat me by 1. However, if we look back in our text thread, before the results were final, he forfeited his picks. Now, I am not sure how we want to go about that, but if he forfeits his pick, then it goes to the runner-up, which was then me. However, are we going to allow that? I am open for discussion on this. If we want to allow the forfeited picks, or if he wants to just take it and leave it.
I feel like this is a job for, the We Book It CEO the chairman of the board, to come to a final conclusion on this, finality on this.
I'm okay with that.
I think I got to step in and get my Vince McMahon on real quick and officially strip Tank of the We Book It Championship and hold it at bay, and it will be decided at the next WWE pay-per-view or PLE. So there is currently no champion, no We Book It champion.
Okay, I like it.
So it's a whole new slate. Anybody can have the belt.
It's a Royal Rumble.
Next goal. Yes, it is. We will see who will be the next We Book It champion. You know what's messed up? It was gonna suck if we do all of this just for Coach to turn around and win again, bro. Like, dude, like, come on. So as of this very moment, wait a minute, I gotta put myself on the full screen. As of this very moment, Tank, you're fired.
I love it.
I always wanted to do that. Yeah, Tank, I'm sorry, but I'm stripping you of the championship. You're not here to defend it. So, boom, bow wow. So, the title is now held in abeyance, and we will have a brand new We Book It champion. And this time, for the very first time, we're going to have 8 competitors. So what we'll do: Tank, Big Daddy C, Teddy Long, Coachman, AC, Mike, Fritos, who's still putting this stuff in, even though he's like or on leave. Like I said, I would have to strip him too. And then of course you're gonna have MacMan join. So that's 8 people for the first time ever. An 8-man Hell in a Cell match to see who will be the next We Book It champion. So excited for that, man. Excited for that. You guys stay tuned to see who will be the next We Book It world champion. Obviously our first champion was none other than Fritos. Our longest tenured champion was Tank, and longest tenured champion was Coach. Coach, I also think you got the most reigns too, don't you? You got 3.
I have 3, yes.
You have 3. I have 3 too, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you
am I 3 or am I 2?
Both have. I thought you had 3.
I think I have 3. I do think I have 3. Okay, so 3. We're a 3-way tie right now to see who can be champ again. And then we have 3 newbies who have never held the belt. AC is vying to become the first women's We Book It champion. She's trying to take the place of China. And of course, we got MacMan and we have Teddy Long, who are both vying for their first We Book It championship reign. So you yield a lot of power around here when you are the Book It champion. So like I said, obviously coach did a lot for the championship. And again, kudos to him, because I never would have done that. If I was champ, I never would have put the title up 2 weeks in a row. That's suicide. That's asking for trouble.
He's a fighting
no
champion.
way I would have done that. No, and the thing is, he retained after the first week. That was crazy about it. He had it in the bag. So
I couldn't go against Oba. I couldn't.
All right, folks.
Oba.
Yeah. It comes back to bite you in the ass, doesn't it? Every time.
It does. Yep.
All right, good people. Let's talk some wrestling here. So, first and foremost, let's acknowledge first and foremost that we saw the return of one Chad Gable this past Friday night on SmackDown. Sami Zayn was in his storyline bag talking about how he continues to get overlooked by Cody Rhodes, overlooked by Gunther, overlooked by the fans, overlooked by everybody. And he was doing his best to try to garner some sympathy. However, it turned out that once again, Nick Aldis did not have time for him. Why? Because there was a certain man that walked into the room looking like a chiseled, grizzled vet. None other than Chad Gable walks into the room and he looks like money. I don't know what they got in the water there in AAA Mexico, but he came back looking like money, man. He looked serious. He looked focused. He looked like he would be taken serious as a competitor. If you are booking SmackDown, where do you go after having Chad Gable be one of the hottest wrestlers on the planet for the past 6-7 months? Where do you go from here with Chad Gable? What do you do next with him? This is going straight to Coachman.
You know, it's interesting that he appeared on SmackDown. I do think he's going to appear on Raw. I think there might be a little bit of a battle there to see him on both brands. But
Okay.
So if we stick with that theory, I think he's going right. I think he should go straight for the IC title against Penta.
Ooh.
I think that'd be a perfect transition of power right there. You already had a solid champ in Penta. You give it to somebody who deserves it, who you know is going to put on matches just as good as Penta. But if not,
Sure.
I would like to see, if he stays on SmackDown, I would love to see him start a program with Trick Williams for the U.S. title. Now, not win it immediately, still let Trick have his reign, but when Trick's ready to move on to the main event scene, which should be any day now, it feels like, then have Gable take over and be the champion. So it could just be a short reign for Trick, just because of how much he is progressing into the main event scene already. But I could also see Gable getting a little bit of something with Sammy right now as some revenge from WrestleMania 40 all the way back then.
Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the We Book It podcast, Mr. Johnny Come Lately. His name is Teddy Lemon Pepper Stepper Long. What's going on, Teddy?
Bitch, you started the stream early. Shut up.
I didn't. I started at 8 o'clock. The exact time I
supposed
told you I was
start
starting.
No.
I
The chat
told
said,
you. I told you.
Don't call me Johnny Come Lately just because you wanted to change the time, motherfucker.
Mr. Johnny
No,
be good,
sir.
Johnny be bad, Johnny whatever.
Don't
Anyway,
put your tone back on, ho.
AC Slayer, please let us know, what would you do with Chad Gable if you had the book?
Oh, I have a lot of thoughts about this because ever since he was unmasked last week in that all-star match, I mean, this was supposed to be a throwaway gimmick, right? Maybe a career killer, but he leaned into the gimmick so well. He had these great matches with, El Hijo de Vikingo. He did this great program with El Grande Americano. And it's like, we all knew who it was, but as soon as he was unmasked, we still were excited about it. So I'm excited to see him back. And it was interesting to see him back on SmackDown again because he's on the Redemption Tour. He's apologizing to everyone. He's going to Rey Fenix. He's like, oh, I really learned respect for Lucha Libre. And you know what? He looked really tan. So the time in Mexico was good for him. So what do I think they have in store for him? I'm not sure. I don't know if they're planning maybe a program with Sami Zayn because of that promo. I agree with Coachman. It would be cool to see him challenge Trick in time for the United States title, to see him in the mid-card game. But also, do we see him in Money in the Bank? Do we see him challenge for the IC title? We know that Penta is going against Rey Mysterio this Monday. So depending on how that turns out, do we see a role for him since he's now had this history with Lucha Libre? I just hope that TKO and Triple H don't screw it up.
No, that's absolutely fair. Those are really good points. Main thing being, I agree with you. Hopefully Triple H don't screw this up. And again, you have lightning in the bottle with Chad, and you're gonna have the same thing once Kaiser comes back as Kaiser. Eventually he will lay down, the El Grande Americano mask. You would assume, right? And so
I don't know. He's doing so good.
Right. I mean,
we may never see Kaiser again.
Right. I mean, at this point, Ludwig Kaiser sucks, but El Grande Americano is over like Rover. So I mean, it's two totally different people, when you put them on the match. And it's so crazy to think about that, just how much the name matters. The name and the gimmick matters still in wrestling. Kayfabe is still alive just a little bit because we all know it's Ludwig Kaiser underneath there. However, we still buy into the El Grande Americano gimmick, the mask, and we respect it, and we respect the art of wrestling because of it. I sincerely hope somehow he finds his way to Springfield on that summer heat tour. I will pop hard for him while we're there at the event. If he does end up coming down, I think it's gonna be really cool.
And I will buy him a shot of tequila at the Alamo after.
Boom! There you
Nice.
go. There you go.
Nice.
Him and the Miz. You got to buy him and the Miz a shot of tequila at the Alamo. MacMan, what's your thoughts on Chad Gable? What would you do with him?
I would possibly put him on Raw. I think Raw is the best destination for him. Obviously, I wouldn't put him on the main event card just yet. I would put him on the IC versus Penta, like Coachman said. One reason why we're seeing him going to Raw is because SmackDown is starting to get a little filled up. Finn Balor just got put to SmackDown, so like it wouldn't really be much room for him at SmackDown like it would be at Raw. Penta's held the title for a little bit longer. No one in my interest has sparked being able to take that title off of him except like Javon Evans, but I don't know what they're doing with Javon. They starting to mess that up too. But I would honestly put him on Raw, put him against Penta. That was a title he was really gunning for. He was the one that, in my book, I thought was going to dethrone Gunther at some point. So I would definitely put him in that role. Raw.
He reminds me, you guys keep mentioning the IC championship. He does remind me, he puts me in remembrance of what the 80s and early 90s IC champions represented. That championship was supposed to be your stepping stone title to get into the world title picture. It really was. Before there was ever the World Heavyweight Championship, the IC championship was the Workers' Championship. That was the title that you toured with. That was the title that highlighted and main evented all the B shows. So while you had Hogan and all the monsters doing the A show towns, you know, the Chicagos, the Pittsburghs, the Detroits, you know, the Los Angeles, places like that, you would then have the B towns, you know, the smaller towns where you go like St. Louis, or you'll go like, you know, different places like that, to the B towns, and the IC championship would main event those shows, and it was called the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. So it gave it just a little bit more prestige than that. And so to me, Chad Gable represents, or could represent, that generation of workers coming back and really making that title mean something, which that IC championship hasn't meant much since the Miz last held the IC championship, in my estimation. I really haven't cared that much about the championship since then. Well, that's a lie. I was actually really ecstatic when Jey Uso won the IC championship, and I thought they should have capped it at the IC title. I didn't realize that IC title was a test run for this whole Yeet thing that was going to end up becoming the World Heavyweight Championship, and that just became unbelievable. The way he beat Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 41, but that's another story for another day. Anyway,
I was just gonna say, Virgil, you're so right, because if you think about the people that have held the IC championship back in the day, it's like, you know, you've got like Randy Savage, you've got Jericho, you've got Jeff Hardy, you've got great names.
Yeah. The lineage of the IC championship is the who's who of guys that either peaked at the IC title, or the IC title was just a precursor to the WWF or WWE championship. So, and like I said, it was a test run for guys. When they sent you on the road, this is another reason, guys, why house shows are so damn important, because when they put you on the road, if your name is on the marquee and the final match is the Intercontinental Championship match and it's you versus somebody else, you need to be able to fill that arena. Guys are buying tickets for you as main event so that you fill that arena, so that you're the face of that show. So that's why it was super important at the time for the IC championship to matter and to mean something. And that's why I was taken so serious. So that's my thoughts on that. But Teddy Long, hop in this conversation. What would you do with Chad Gable how would you book him, sir?
Boy, I thought you'd never stop. For me, truthfully, like I would put. Yeah, you can growl all you want to. I'd run the apology tour in the sense of matches with him and luchadors to earn full respect through the locker room with the luchadors. And then, but also I would still pivot and still have him with Sami Zayn, just because he could never beat Sami Zayn on Raw, and since Gunther is on SmackDown, you can get the rematch with him and Gunther too after Cody beats Gunther. Because I can also set up actually a main event spot for Chad Gable to finally get a World Heavyweight Championship shot, because he's earned that in the work he's put in over the past 2 or 3 years, just with doing everything from Alpha Academy to the stuff with the Creed brothers. Like, he's always putting on everybody. So I feel like he deserves a actual chance at the title just to showcase what he can do. Just like they gave Royce Keys a chance at Gunther for a #1 contendership match. But as far as titles to take, I would probably say I could probably see him in the Money in the Bank, but I could probably see him either bouncing back and forth between Raw and SmackDown. I could see him taking the IC title off of Penta, in his apology tour, or in the sense of he finessing and comes out being a heel. So you can either run 2 different angles of him being a face or a heel, but I like the face angle they did on SmackDown with him and Sammy, because now Sammy's on his heel run and doing all that stuff with him and Johnny Gargano. So I feel like Chad Gable and Sami Zayn could put on some good mid-card magic. But then I would also like to see like Chad Gable versus Carmelo Hayes. Like, there's a lot of talent on SmackDown that Chad Gable can really work with, like Carmelo Hayes or Matt Cardona. You got, the list goes on, and with SmackDown being a 3-hour show, you got more opportunity for him to be featured on SmackDown than on Raw, even though Raw's roster is a little bit smaller.
Which is weird that Raw's roster is smaller, but yeah, it definitely is, man. And it's messed up. But like I said, at the same time, with SmackDown going back to 2 hours here within the next week or so, you aren't going to have as much. Is it
going to be permanent, or is it just going to be a test run?
It's not a test run. They're doing it for a while until because Braun Strowman's show is coming back. So that third hour is going to be Braun Strowman's Eden show again, which honestly, y'all, I actually watched the episode of that today.
It's not bad. It's
a good show.
Like,
it's a really good show.
It was him and Mark Henry, and they got a little emotional or whatnot because he obviously shouted out Mark and was like, Mark is the reason why he's here, and none of this is possible without him, which, guys, that's another thing.
Mark is the reason why a lot of people are there.
Thank you.
He's
that's
the
what I was
reason
getting
why
ready
Bianca Belair is there.
Yeah, I did not realize just how many people he either scouted, he either put a word in for, or he worked with to help become what they are. So, I mean, yeah, no, Mark Henry is the real deal when it comes to that, man. That's insane. But yeah, man, like I said, with SmackDown, moving back to 2 hours, that shortens up so much TV time for everybody. So I'm very curious to see what they do with the rosters and what they decide. But
it can possibly be helpful too with the amount of commercials they go through, because if you notice, like, truth be told, like, you get some good matches, but you get way more backstage segments with the 3 hours than you do matches.
Right.
And truth be told, I'm cool. Like, I'm trying to figure out I really wanted to figure out what the fuck they're doing with this Danhausen angle of what he's doing with this mystery lab, because, like, we don't have no direction with it. Like, between him cursing every professional sports team and then fucking with the Miz and Kit Wilson and his baby oil that can't make it through customs, Diddy. It's a lot going on,
Yeah. You know what? My thought on that is, how mad would you guys be if that ended up being Bishop Dyer?
Who? I'm not an indie guy. Who that is?
I wouldn't be upset with that.
The Lone Wolf.
Oh, just say Baron Corbin.
No, his name is Bishop Dyer.
In WWE, his name will be Baron the fuck Corbin.
Hey, just like McMahon called Royce Keys, what's the name? Powerhouse Hobbs. This motherfucker's name is Bishop Dyer.
No, that motherfucker's name is Baron Corbin with the End of Days.
End of Days is still one of the best finishers. That and the Black
Hole Slam. You motherfucker. Yep. Jinx, you owe me a soda. Gotcha, bitch.
You know what? It really sucks that we hate each other because we actually agree on a lot. But you know, it is what it is.
It's
You're just
because
an
you
asshole,
wake
that's
up
all.
trolling me on bullshit every fucking day, and you want to say it's me all the time. If I
I
showed
do not-
everybody
bro,
my Snapchat, if I showed people my Snapchat every fucking day, I post something. Your ass slides up and says some goofy shit every day. Every
Why
day.
can't we be friends?
Yeah.
We can't.
Listen,
We
be-
can't.
No,
We
let me
can't.
tell you
He's
something.
my biggest op.
It's not AC. It's not me. I'm telling you, it's him. He starts it every single time, and then every single time when I say something back, then he want to get all butt hurt.
Coachman, from the very first episode I came on here, who started the shit?
Coachman,
The very first
Virgil.
episode I came on here.
Coachman,
it was
that's
Virgil.
not true. I did not. I am innocent.
Dude, you
until
start with
proven guilty.
everything, even in the group chat. Don't get me started.
AC, you've been part of the group long enough to know I am innocent in this. Tell them. I get picked on the most out of everybody. Like they gang up on me all the time.
Hey, AC, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yep, I'm not taking
Ooh.
sides on this. There's a
Plead
lot
the
of
fifth.
there's a
Plead
lot
the
of
fifth, AC.
there's a
Plead
lot
the
of
fifth.
animosity
Plead the fifth.
on many
I'll
sides.
accept your fifth.
I'm
I'll
not
accept your
because
fifth.
I'm
I'll
innocent.
accept your fifth and raise you a pint.
Bruh, listen, let me tell you something. So Coach stirs the pot. Devin,
No. Coach is
Tank
the guy. Coach is the guy that hits you while you're getting beat up on. Coach is the one that runs by, hits you, and stands on the side and starts recording like ain't shit happened. That's Coach because he be throwing shots and ducking his hand. That's
World
Coach.
star.
Him and Tank be doing that. They do that all the time. And then like I said, and then it's all and then for some odd reason, since I helped you guys meet each other, you and Big Daddy C are like besties or whatnot, and so you guys are always taking sides
Me
against
and
me.
Big Daddy C
And
had
so-
a lot of mutual friends before you. Shut up.
Yeah, y'all had mutual friends, but y'all wasn't friends. There's a difference.
It's okay. I like your brother better than you.
See, this is what I go through with him. This is what I go through with him. All the time.
Jono's way cooler than you. I
Which
just
one
want
you
to put that
talking
out there.
about?
I just want to put that out there. Jono's way cooler than you. I just want to put that out there. And Jono shows me love on the SmackDown Lowdown every week. That's my dog.
Hey, shout out, Cuzzo, man.
Go
Don't
Sox.
laugh at that, y'all. That's not funny. None of this funny.
Shout out,
You come on my
Cuzzo.
show and talk about my brother.
Our show. This is our show. Because
It's
without
terrible.
us, you ain't shit.
Anyways,
Nobody come to see you, Otis.
I wanted to bring up another topic for you guys. I was watching Conrad Thompson and Eric Bischoff, and they were interviewing Ariel Helwani from an MMA podcast hour. And Ariel, they asked him to talk about his thoughts about WWE and the product and the booking. And one thing that was brought up was that WWE right now feels soulless. And that's as in SOULNESS. No internet. Damn, my bad. SOULESS. Soulless. Anyways, what it was like so to me, shut up, Teddy. So like to me, you know, when I think about it, that's really a good way to put the booking. Now, Conrad and Eric Bischoff set it up where they wanted to like really like they basically really wanted it to be a dig at Triple H, but Ariel went a different direction with it, and he was just like, you know, with everything with the merger with TKO, with TKO buying WWE and purchasing them and everything like that, like Triple H has different people he has to answer to, especially with the sponsors and things like that, but even more so than the sponsors, which was all WWE had to answer to before. Now they have to answer to TKO, you know, which is even on a higher level of, you know, basically, you know, mismanaging the product and feeding us stuff that we don't necessarily want, or, you know, stuff that just missed out. So like Ariel brought up WrestleMania this past year. And after I say this, I'm gonna kick it to y'all, and I want to get you guys' thoughts on this. So hear me out. Ariel mentioned that he missed the pageantry of WrestleMania. So like WrestleMania is like one of those things where like you have like backstage interviews where you have, moments with other stars and things like that. Like, and I'm not talking about just watching the stars, giving them a quick moment shout out in the crowd. I'm talking about they're in segments, and things like that. And, you miss, like I said, the special entrances, the pageantry of that, and then the special matches that feel like a fever pitch, and just all of the important things that come along with WrestleMania. He says that the booking itself and then the commercials and the commercial breaks on top of that all led to basically WrestleMania losing its luster and its lore and just not having the same pageantry that it had in the past, And so I just kind of want to get you guys' thoughts on Ariel's comments about WWE's booking feeling soulless. Teddy, you raised your hand, so I'll go with you first.
That's what happens when you have to answer to a board of directors versus, like you said, sponsors. Because when it was just sponsorship, you didn't have to worry about shit being in the ring. Like, it still felt like wrestling. It still felt like we had the kayfabe. It still felt like we had, all the things that made us really excited for WrestleMania. But with TKO, it's like they fucked us up when they took it away from New Orleans and put it in motherfucking Vegas again. And then you announce that we're going to Saudi Arabia. There are way better countries and cities in different countries better than fucking Saudi Arabia to have a fucking WrestleMania. Hell, I'll put that shit in Lyon, France before I put it in Saudi Arabia. At least you're going to get a crowd that understands the game London. Of what it is. Like, I'll say Lyon because that they gave probably the loudest eruption during AJ Styles' entrance than any other country has given to any superstar ever.
It's fact.
I don't care if it's Randy Orton. I don't care if it's John Cena. I don't care if it's Finn Balor. I don't care if it's Cody Rhodes. Like, what they did
give Orton a good one, though.
They gave Orton a good one, but it wasn't when they did the Unreal and they talked about how long that chant actually lasted, because there was a commercial break during that chant and they came back and it was still going even without his music playing. Like, you don't get that without passion. And the thing is, because TKO is trying to appease to their people that they're answering to. So it's like everybody has an opinion of what should happen versus the people that actually love this sport and craft. And truth be told, like, everybody got something to say about Triple H, but if Triple H bucked the system and they fired Triple H, then what would we really feel like with who they put in his spot? Like, would we really want that to happen? Like, do we really want somebody in his spot that doesn't respect the NXT brand, the AAA brand, the TNA brand, the WWE brand? Like, even when it comes to AEW stuff, Triple H is the one that let the helm up on announcers being able to speak on New Japan Pro Wrestling or speak on AAA or speak on different things that we ain't never heard them break the fourth wall on. And that's because of Triple H, because somebody in a suit, like a real suit that comes in and would take Triple H spot, like, they would be so chokehold on what happens and everything else. Like, we probably see more firings than we do right now. And it ain't all Triple H fault. It's just it falls in Triple H lap, and it's like, okay, Triple H, this is what has to happen. This is what has to be cut. You make the choices of who gets it. And when you got to deal with the contracts and stuff like that, you got to pick what you pick and how it go. But I feel like he can only do what his hands allow him to do because TKO has such a chokehold on things. And unless somebody can buy out TKO or unless they can find a way to just sever the partnership, like, we're going to have to deal with this stuff with the logos in the fucking middle of the ring, and the rest of us starting to complain about it now. We're going to have to deal with, hopefully now we get more live shows and they see the push that actually does, because having live shows leading up into your PLEs make the PLE better, because you got your people wrestling, they're warm, they're loose, they're in recovery and on their drives or whatever the case in point may be. They have so many different things. But to say WWE is soulless and not having direction and not breathing AEW in that same breath is a diabolical slap in the face. Because I've seen so many people talk about that in the sense of they've never had storyline direction. And you can bring in as many stars and legends as you want to. Like, truthfully, the only time bringing in legends in a wrestling business that really worked was when TNA did it, when they had Ric Flair and Sting and Hogan and, the Dudleys and everybody in their primes because they were a prime wrestling company. But now with Mick Foley coming in, nobody believe that bullshit. Like, let's be real. Who wants to see Mick Foley really do something in AEW? Really, we already had Sting and Darby Allin. We've already had that gimmick. Like, what else is there? You ain't got nobody that's a real hardcore person in AEW that's going to feed and benefit with Mick Foley.
I mean, it sounds like which that could very well be the case, but I don't know because Moxley is a babyface right now. So unless you plan to turn Foley heel, I don't know if that makes sense either.
Exactly. So it's like you can't say like I understand when they say WWE is soulless. I can understand it from the aspect of what they're bringing when it comes to the promotion and the actual stuff of the PLEs. But truthfully, they do that. It just happens in a different lane than what we're used to because now we're seeing them on ESPN more. We're seeing them on the Jimmy Fallon show more. We're seeing them on different people's podcasts and talk shows versus what we used to see back in the day.
I mean, it's a good and a bad. I kind of like your points about that. I think the ESPN, I would tell you more than the booking, the ESPN deal makes WWE feel soulless. I really wish they were still on Peacock, and I will contend for that until the day they go back to Peacock.
Waiting out their year. They were supposed to wait till next year to go to Peacock, but that's because. But hold on, think about this. That's ESPN monopolizing because now the Super Bowl is on ESPN going forward. Yeah. Not just one year, going forward. The Super Bowl is there. You got the NBA Finals on ABC, ESPN. You got hockey, ESPN. You got so many football. Like ESPN is literally monopolizing. Disney is monopolizing on everything.
It's true.
And money talks.
What are your thoughts, Coachman, on what he had to say? What Ariel Helwani had to say?
I agree kind of what Teddy was saying. It's soulless in the fact of what's happening with the company, not anything with the wrestlers. Because usually when you say soulless, you think wrestlers are not giving it their all. They are just kind of going through the motions and there's no like chemistry going on. So I think from a business perspective, yes, they are soulless. They are not caring what the consumer really wants. They're only concerned about what they think the consumer wants instead. And that's not a good business practice. If you ask any business that tried to do what they thought was better for the consumer than what the actual consumer did or wants, that business went out in just a few years. So I've seen plenty of bar rescue to know that kind of stuff. So that's where
you're gonna get people sick.
Don't serve another thing.
I love John Taffer. But from a business perspective, yes, they are soulless because they're not engaging with the fans. They're engaging with what they think will make them more money, when in reality, if you engage with the fans, they will buy into your product. But if you're not, they're just going to think, okay, you're just in it for my money. You don't actually care what I think. So I agree with Teddy that I'm hoping that these house shows, with them coming back, they're going to realize, oh, hey, we messed up, because these are actually good money makers and beneficial for our talent. But we'll see what happens there.
Very interesting. AC, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I could see the point about how soulless WrestleManias might feel these days, because there aren't as many backstage interviews or promos as there used to be. I think I'm just reading the comment.
Appreciate you, Yayo 32 star. Appreciate you, gang.
I think some people still do the pageantry. I think we saw that with like Charlotte and Alexis this year. Like they still like that felt like a real WrestleMania entrance, like their outfits, everything. But I agree because even though I was there live, Dragon Lee had a great entrance, but my understanding is that did not appear on TV, and it was amazing. Like he had the whole outfit. It was a great setup. So I can see that. I can see that criticism, and I have to agree. With Teddy, that even like on AEW, sometimes it doesn't feel like they're invested in long-term storytelling. But I think that the issue is that they are answering to a board, and it feels like Triple H, even though he has the experience, he's been in this for a while, he still has to answer to somebody, and it's not real fans. So we'll see.
Appreciate you, AC. I appreciate you, AC. You agreed with me about backyard wrestling. I never thought that would happen.
On one point.
Hey, I only need one. I only need one. That's all I need.
There are still some great matches and amazing talent, but
this is why I only need one, AC. This is why.
Oh Lord.
That's only why I only need one. It's okay, Virgil. You'll be okay.
All right. Anyways, MacMan, what's your thoughts on the soulless comment remark by Ariel?
I definitely think with the board takeover, it definitely has caused wrestling to be viewed as differently. Before, we had in the Vince McMahon era, it was really like Vince McMahon answering to himself. But now, since like we see Triple H in that role, he doesn't have that same power. So I would definitely agree that it is looking soulless. I don't think it's from a wrestling standpoint though. I feel like we do get good wrestling. I just think that in itself, like with the ESPN move, we're seeing more commercials.
Right.
When we had Peacock, we had less commercials. We had better opportunity to see more stories. Even with Netflix, I mean, like I can't tell you the last time I seen like the two wrestlers have interest shown on TV. So it's like different things. Like when I see like once they started breaking out the company, we started seeing a lot of things like fade out that we were excited to see. Like we got Triple H versus John Cena, Undertaker versus Triple H, right? Like we want to see the whole entrance. Matches definitely have been cut short due to production times. On SmackDown, we get like 30-minute matches. Once we get on ESPN, we get like 15-minute matches. So I definitely see where some things have definitely caused us to lose out on some wrestling parts, whereas it's not the type of wrestling that we love.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. All great points. I especially like the thought process behind missing out on certain things that we were used to. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm a big, huge, brat when it comes to my wrestling, and I really do miss Peacock, but I even more so miss the WWE Network. We did not know how good we had it with the WWE Network.
Like I paid that $9.99 faithfully.
Oh my gosh, faithfully. It did not matter. Even if you didn't want the new product, the fact that you can go back and start at the very beginning, the very first Monday Night Raw, the very first SmackDown, and literally go consecutively show after show after show to watch every episode of Raw, every episode of SmackDown in order consecutively. Like I used to go to sleep watching WWE Network. I used to wake up watching WWE Network. Like it would just be on in my house like all the time. Like, was anybody else there when they first launched? AC, just so you know, when it first launched, you were in the next suite over from mine in the dorms at UIS or whatnot. Because when it first launched,
it was a WrestleMania.
Yeah,
and the day that it launched, I'll never forget it. Rest in peace to my boy Jordan Charlie. I was at his house watching it, and we sitting there getting pissed because it was buffering like a motherfucker. Lagging so fucking hard. But when it stopped lagging, I swear I was in it to win it that day. Like I don't even know what WrestleMania was. I just remember
he stopped lagging until Cena versus Rock.
Because it was oh my god, it was awful the first time. But after that, for the tenure that they had the WWE Network, bro, like everything was perfect.
Whoo! Chef's kiss, bro. And they kept adding new stuff. Like, I don't know if anybody has ever watched Camp WWE, but it was like South Park.
I freaking loved that show.
Yeah.
Bro, they had their own. They had so much shit on WWE Network, bro. Like, I miss it. I ain't gonna lie to you.
So good. So good. All right, folks. Well, Coachman, do we have a who to watch for?
We do not, but we do have that topic that I suggested that we can kind of tie into it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna hit you with your thing, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Searching the globe for the best in wrestling. It's who to watch for in wrestling featuring Coach.
Okay, so I'm having an issue with WWE's booking with the younger talent. And they talk about how they're focusing on getting younger. That's why some of the releases were happening, but yet you don't see that in the actual booking. You're still seeing the status quo going on. I actually saw a clip the other day, and this was one of the first Raws this year. It was in January. There was a showdown, like just a stare down between Jacob Fatu and Braun Breaker. And that crowd was going unhinged and even started some holy shit chants because you knew you had two hot young superstars right there that if they went one-on-one, you knew you were going to be entertained and that it was going to be a bloodbath or a very aggressive match. Now, obviously we didn't get that, but now you see where they both are now. Jacob in the main title scene, of course, but now he is basically Roman's lackey. Braun Breaker has to fill in for the Vision because Logan Paul's hurt, Bronson Reed's hurt. Braun Breaker, I'm pretty sure, is also hurt, but he's fighting through it. So I think there are some situations to where there are guys that clearly aren't ready yet. I look at Javon Evans. I think he is fantastic. I love Javon, but I don't think he's ready for maybe a title yet. Then you have guys like Trick Williams, who as soon as he burst on the scene, he's ready for it. And then you also have Oba, who comes onto the scene, retires Brock Lesnar. You have these guys with all of this momentum coming from NXT, and it's just stalling right now. Even after Trick won the U.S. title, his reign hasn't been much. Yeah. It's been more about the gingerbread man, which, don't get me wrong, hilarious. But, let's get some more defenses. I see what they're doing, though, with Carmelo and Trick right now, so I'm letting that simmer. I'm not going to overreact yet, but you basically have Javon just being a fan in the crowd during Clash in Italy. He's easily could have been on the card in some capacity. So I understand there's some points where it comes up that yes, the young talent, they're probably not ready yet. But when you have guys that are showing improvement, that are getting over with the crowd organically, and WWE has had a big issue with that the past couple of years of striking when the iron is hot, and they are just letting it cool off, and then they say, okay, hey, now we're going to give you what you want. Oh, we don't care anymore. We're on to the next person.
Yeah.
Because the moment that
LA Knight.
Exactly. So I think WWE could have done something spectacular if Jacob Fatu beat Roman, because then you have Roman serving Jacob, and then you have a different dynamic of Roman trying to get his power back while you have an unhinged guy as the leader. You could have told so much more stories with that. Instead, we're getting MFTs again. So I'd love to know your guys' thoughts on how the younger talent's getting booked, but that's my rant for the night.
Free my girl Jada Parker.
Amen.
Because Jada don't get no love. She ain't I hate the thing with the younger talent. I wish Lash Legend would have got a women's championship run. She deserved it way more than fucking JC Jane. She deserved it way more than a lot of other people. But then when you brought in Julia and Stephanie Vaquer, you inserted them in that spot and then moved them on. I mean, with NXT being what it is now, we look at it as like a true legitimate developmental brand, like versus Star Power. But now with the insurgence of a lot of the newer independent wrestlers they're bringing, it's like now we're kind of getting back to what could possibly be like the vibe of having real wrestling with like how the black and gold era was. Because Mason Rook, dude, crazy. I'm a fan of him. I'm a fan of his work and how he moves in the ring. Like he's a more agile Kevin Owens. With like a mix of, it's like if Kevin Owens and Jacob Fatu had a baby, that would be him. But
I think that I like where this segment is going and the conversation behind it, because you can go so many directions with this. First and foremost, let's talk about the younger stars. Let's talk about striking while the iron is hot. So first and foremost, you got to look at numero uno, L.A. Knight. L.A. Knight also went on Chris Van Vliet and gave an interview where he spoke about the fact that he feels like WWE did not capitalize on him when he was hot. Like his reactions have kind of cooled a little bit. He's not where he once was. And you got to think about it. The fans stuck with LA Knight since 2022, where he was at his apex. They were going crazy for LA Knight, and it's now 2026, and he's just now starting to cool off. That's 4 years of WWE choosing someone else storyline wise that made more sense to have a Money in the Bank, to have a Royal Rumble, to have a WrestleMania, to have a SummerSlam, to have a King of the Ring moment more than LA Knight. So again, and this kind of goes into the Ilja Dragunov conversation. So this all kind of ties in together. Who's making these decisions as far as who's hot, who's not? And again, this is why you have to have, like I said in the last segment, the litmus test of the house shows. The house shows really show you who's hot and who's not. Like, because there ain't no piped in sound at the house shows. They use minimal equipment at these house shows. So you get to actually hear up close and personal the reactions that guys are getting. And I'm going to tell y'all, LA Knight has been to Springfield, BOS Center, 3 different occasions. 2 times he came as a heel, and he still got the best or second best reaction of the night each time. And that's Cody Rhodes being on the card every single time. That's Seth Rollins being on the card every single time. That's Finn Balor. That's Damian Priest. That's Rhea Ripley. That's all of them. And LA Knight still got either the first or second best reaction of the night each time. So again, I mean, I fail to see why WWE could not capitalize on LA Knight past a Slim Jim commercial and past the 2 U.S. title reigns. But I'm gonna kick it over to AC. Go ahead, AC. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's a little mind-boggling, and I know technically, not to insult anyone, but like LA Knight wouldn't count as like a younger talent, but he's been so hot for so many years since he's come on the scene. Yep. Especially like, with WWE. I mean, this is the guy, he was in TNA, he was in NWA, like he really put in work. And I remember he was getting those mega pops, and it kind of felt like it led up to nowhere. And I think they've done that with a lot of talent. I mean, Ilya is a good example of that, where they appear to be kind of working it up towards something. There's a face down, and then nothing comes out of it. So all I can think is, I don't know if like TKO has some internal metrics they run that aren't really based on like fan reactions. Like you said, Virgil, like what are the reactions at house shows and from the real diehards? And is it, based on, metrics from streaming, from online? I have no idea, but I don't have a good explanation, but it's frustrating.
So AC, to answer your question, it's merch. I mean, like I said, you got to move merch, but you can't even say merch, because if it's merch, he was one of the top sellers for 3 years straight. Him, Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins. And then Rhea Ripley, obviously, on the women's side is dominated. But like I said, so he moved the merch. He showed you who he was. The fans appreciated and respected him and accepted him. I mean, okay, now I get it. Maybe he wasn't the guy to end Roman's reign as his long reign as champion, and that's fine. But you could have easily slid him over to the world title, and he could have at least got the payoff of a month as world champion. And like I said, it just would have made sense, And again, you run the risk of the same thing with Braun Breaker of waiting too long. I thought Braun Breaker should have been the one to get the Brock Lesnar push, not Oba. If you're asking me, Braun Breaker has been more than ready. They actually made him stay in NXT a year longer. Now, to the point of Javon Evans, I don't know which one you guys brought up Javon Evans, but the point of Javon Evans, Shawn Michaels actually asked for him to stay in NXT and not get called up. He asked for an extra year with Javon Evans, let them build the brand around him and see how he does as the face of NXT. And WWE decided no, they wanted to pull the trigger now.
TKO decided,
but now you got him like sitting in the stand.
TKO pulled the trigger.
TKO decided to pull the trigger and call him up.
And I feel like it's TKO prematurely and overly doing things in the sense of the with the fire cooling off or staying hot. Like you said, LA Knight had a long run. Javon Evans probably could have benefited more staying in NXT and actually getting that NXT title, because you could have had Javon Evans do the Trick Williams move where he goes and wrestles in TNA, builds him up, because him and Leon Slater got great chemistry. You could just imagine what him and other people at TNA can have chemistry with and what they're capable of doing. But that's TKO doing that. And then on top of that, that's probably a money move for TKO, because it's like, if I bring him up from NXT, whatever his contract was in NXT, I can add a couple more thousand to it and get away with it, because it's like a rookie contract in NFL.
Yeah. It makes sense. MacMan, give us your thoughts, bro. Get into this conversation.
I definitely feel they might have missed the mark with LA Knight. I think that he gave them what they needed to see when he messed up a couple times, did a couple of those botches. I don't think they would have been the one to put him to defeat Roman, but definitely could have did some on Raw. At that time, I think the guy was like Gunther. So I think he could have benefited from beating Gunther.
Yeah. Instead of Jey Uso, instead of doing the Jey Uso run, that should have been LA Knight, is what you're saying?
I mean, yeah, but I don't think LA Knight would have been more over than Jey Uso. Even though Jey Uso was tired after all those heating he was doing.
Man, I watched the old promo and bro was literally out of breath talking through his promo. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, I could go blunt and have more air than you.
At every entrance, bro. Bro was wore out. We could have definitely benefited. I definitely hate how they're doing Javon Evans. I think out of everybody that came from NXT, Javon is the only one that did not hold the title.
Yeah. You're right.
So I definitely think he got the short end of the stick, and now we're waiting him to wait longer. I definitely think that they need to rethink that move. But as far as young talent goes,
remember, guys, Randy Orton was just 24 years old when he won the World Heavyweight Championship, and I think Brock was 25 when he won the Undisputed title. How old is Javon? Javon's 21.
Yeah,
he got 2 years.
You could at least give him a mid-card championship, though.
True. Randy got the IC championship at like 23, and he was cold with that IC championship. That's actually one of my favorite versions of Randy when he was in Evolution still, and he was right under Triple H, because it was just like you just knew, like, and him and Edge was having good feuds. He was having good matches with everybody. Him and Mick Foley. Whew.
But are they going to take him to the heel turn now with the way he was been reacting to some of his matches?
It could work that way. Mm-hmm. But this would have been so fucking great if Kofi Kingston was still around.
Oh my God, get out my brain. Shut up. No, yeah, if New Day had stuck around and they turned him heel, it would have been fire. God, I hate to meet him think alike. AC, any last thoughts on that?
No, I think we covered it all. Like agreed on everything, and I know it's better to not hope, but I hope they do something with LA. I want to see it in my lifetime.
Hey, y'all, for shout out to my homie Milligan. 3 years in a row, I've told Milligan, hey bro, this the year that they give LA Knight the Money in the Bank briefcase. I'm telling you, it just makes sense storyline wise. This the year they're gonna pull the trigger, give the briefcase.
This year,
And
who else did
every
they
year
give it to other than
consistently,
him?
after Money in the Bank, bro, he texts me and cusses me out. It's like, bro, you had me watch Money in the Bank for nothing just to watch LA Knight lose again. And he's always
And
like,
botch.
oh God.
So
What
who
was
do you
your
think you'll
question,
give
man?
it to this year? Who else did they give it to other than him this year?
Dom Mysterio, bro. Dom
Or
Mysterio
Chad Gable.
loses that.
Chad Gable, please.
Dom Mysterio loses that
Mega
Triple A
Championship.
Mania that Triple A Mega
It's all in
Championship.
September.
You
But
said
that's another
what?
thing. He's kind of
It's
cool.
all in
Though.
September because Triple Mania is September 11th and September 13th, and then Money in the Bank is probably the weekend right after that.
Right. So it just makes sense for Dom Mysterio to hold that championship next.
It'll let me know after Monday. We'll know because he's in that qualifier match. Or no, he just won his qualifier match to Friday.
Yeah.
He did just win a qualifier match. He did.
So if they don't
He
do that
faces
with him for
Oba.
King of the Ring,
Hey Mac, why you look so unimpressed when we talk about Dom Mysterio, bro? He looking all the way to the other side of the camera like, bro, if y'all try to tell me Dom Mysterio, really?
I maybe in a year or two, but not now.
You don't believe it yet? You don't believe in him yet?
No.
That's
I
tragic.
mean, like, I definitely think the Judgment Day story is not over yet. So I think that
Unfortunately.
once that comes to an end, it would definitely be his time. But as of right now, no.
I mean, and the crazy part is the Judgment Day is basically all females now. Have y'all realized that? Like, it's the females are dominating the group over the males now. Like, I don't know.
yep, we see it.
I don't know how long Roxanne gonna be a part of it though.
Not long. I can tell you that now. That ship is about to sail here real soon.
So it'd be kind of even.
All right. Yeah, we'll see. All right, last topic. Butcher and the Blade are apparently done with AEW. Do you guys think this would be a good pickup for WWE's tag team division? Teddy, just so you know, they are some backyard wrestling sickos. So I want to send this one right on over to AC Slayer first, so that way she could tell us her bias on what she wants.
I mean, are there really any bad choices for WWE at this point, given that they've really destroyed a lot of their tag team, teams, and they've cut them? I'm not sure. I guess we'll see. I'd like to see it. I think it would be something different. So, who knows?
Okay, Coachman. Former, you are the current AEW host of the All Elite Recap, sir. Go ahead and give us your thoughts.
Yeah, I think it would be smart because, again, WWE has gutted pretty much most of their tag division, and then they say, "Oh, hey, we might want to focus back on that," and then they go to see who they have. Well, most of them's gone, so I don't think it'll hurt. The issue I think is that they're going to be too stubborn in their ways of, okay, we're going to build the tag division within that. I don't think that they're actually going to do anything with it. I could be completely off base, but I think that's probably what's going to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if they go to TNA, honestly.
They would probably fit in better there, honestly, not to jump in. But I could see them fitting in better with TNA. Also, I've seen the Butcher live, but not as a wrestler, but he used to play in one of my favorite bands. So shout out to the Butcher. Yeah, Every Time I Die. He was the guitarist.
Okay. Mac, once again, you look very unimpressed. Butcher and Blade, your thoughts?
Anything is good right now for that tag team division. I put them right on SmackDown.
Okay. Teddy, the resident SmackDown host. What are your thoughts on Butcher and Blade coming over?
I mean, I think I might have seen maybe one match of theirs ever. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be watching AEW, but I feel like they starting to rebuild within because they just put the tag titles from AAA on the War Raiders. And to be honest, with that segment that they had with R-Truth and Damian Priest, I was like, that might be the re-emergence of the War Raiders that we needed, especially with them not being on Raw. So I don't know what it is. Some teams do better on Raw than they do on SmackDown. The Street Profits do well wherever they go. But the War Raiders, with them being in AAA and now SmackDown, like I could possibly see them doing a double belt situation somehow, some way. You know, especially with Damian Priest, you know, his bay down and AAA shaking them hips, that boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Let me get my Booker T bag. Yeah. Oh yeah, I like it.
Oh yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Who can forget? Oh, you sexy Red.
I ain't gonna lie. I missed Booker T during Trick Williams' entrance.
Me too. I thought at WrestleMania they would give him a microphone and let him walk out with him and do the ad libs, but I keep forgetting Trick is a heel, so he can't do a babyface intro like that. They're not trying to have him do a babyface entrance like that yet, but they are saving it.
He already had so much going on with like Lil Yachty and the wedding veil situation, like the big train, you know.
Yeah, that thing was long.
Man,
that was crazy.
It don't matter. Everywhere Trick goes, they love him. They don't boo Trick Williams.
It's very true. That's very true. That's very true.
Italy was whooping that Trick every time his music played.
All right, folks. Well, any last thought?
Cody, I'm sorry. I don't see Cody being in a match with Trick, though. That's not happening.
No. They wouldn't do that to the Golden Boy. Not unless he was heel and he was going over. Which there will here in the near future.
Or whenever Cody loses that title, I can see a heel run coming.
There will be here probably next episode a topic where I just simply hate on Cody Rhodes for about a good 15-20 minutes and tell y'all why I'm so sick and tired. Like I did SmackDown Lowdown for Teddy this last past week, and I mean I'm like, bro, like I am so sick and tired of this babyface Cody run, and I was the main proponent for it. I have pictures with me and Cody Rhodes on my phone. That sounds very weird coming out of my mouth, but get
that shit done.
It's time for Cody Lander. Cody Lander.
No, let's talk about Virgil at the live show. He had his opportunity to say something to Cody Rhodes. What'd you say, Virgil?
This time, I'm going to ask him to sign right here, to sign the strap of this belt right here. That is my one goal at this next live event, is to have Cody sign right here on this strap for me. If I can get that, he will have redeemed himself in my eyesight.
Finish the fucking story.
It's not funny, y'all, and don't be egging him on. When you laugh, it eggs him on even more, and he makes more jokes.
Cody,
anyways, thank you everybody for tuning in to another episode of the We Book It podcast, the Sunday Night Stunner. Of course, tune in tomorrow night. Big Daddy C's got you guys for the Raw Dog Monday night. I'll be back with you with probably Mac on Tuesday for Who's Next at NXT, and then of course Wednesday Coachman is taking you through all Elite recap, and then the Friday night, your Friday night delight, Teddy Lemon Pepper Stepper will finally get his bitch ass back up and start working again and doing stuff on his own show on this coming Friday.
All right, fanboy.
Good night,
fanboy.